All right, so we know how expensive the English illustration rares have become in the Scarlet and Violet era. I mean, you had cards like the Drowsy shooting up to like, I don't remember what it got up to, 60 some dollars, but I think it's back down into the 30s. But still, it's not like a 10, $8, $7 card like it always has been. It's pretty expensive, and there's a lot of cards that have done that recently, you know, on the English side. But there's a lot of Japanese counterparts that are still super inexpensive, super cheap. So I just wanted to go over a few of these. So let's go to so we want to go to the first Japanese set of the Scarlet and Violet era, and that would be Violet EX. It was SV1V, Violet EX. And so, you know, like that Drowsy is in Japanese is $14.75. You know, there's literally like two illustration rares in this set that you should probably go after, and that is a Drowsy at $14.75. It's also this Slowpoke right here. Slowpoke is sitting at about $9.36. This Slowpoke in Japanese, for some reason, it looks just a little more vibrant than the English one. We have both of these, but this one right here, I don't know, something about it pops just a little bit more. Even though it's not a non-textured card, it just, I'm not sure what it is. It could be the colors are slightly different. I'm not sure, but it does kind of pop a little bit more. But yeah, you can get this guy for under 10 bucks, like nine, it's listed at 9.36, but you might be able to get it a little bit cheaper than that. But so we got the Slowpoke from Scarlet, or that's from Violet. And then from the Scarlet set, we have the, you know, in that set, there's this one, the Gardevoir in there is worth more than the English one. The Japanese Gardevoir is about $85, but like the Kirlia and the Ralts. Kirlia is at $12.22, and the Ralts, nice little Ralts here at $11.65. $11.65 for the Ralts. You know, and in the English set, those cards are up at like $30, $35 or stuff like that. So like I said, you can get them for a fraction of the cost. Let's move on to the next set is Triplet Beat. I know some people call it Triple Beat, but I think it kind of translates almost all the way over to like the word triplet. I'm not sure. I don't speak Japanese, but anyway, Triple Beat, Triplet Beat, whatever. This set, there's really only one card you should probably be grabbing. Oh, oops, I grabbed the English one here. English, let's put that back. But I have the two of the Japanese ones here. Very beautiful card. They look almost exactly, I'm trying to, if you compare them, these look almost exactly the same, English and Japanese. So this card here, fraction of the cost. The English one is about $245, I think, still. I know it got up to about $280 almost, but it has dropped. I think it's going to drop no lower than about $225. So I think it still has about, I don't know, $9 more to go, not 9 more, $19 more to drop. But the Magikarp here sitting at $68. Just a few months ago, you could have picked this up for like $30. Now it's sitting at $68. It's kind of paused with the English one a little bit. I think this did hit about 75, did drop a little bit. But like in that set, Triplet Beat, I mean, you do have like, you know, the Sprigatitos and the Fuecocos and all that stuff, but really it's the Magikarp on that set. You should be picking those up. I mean, under $100, actually under $70. You might be able to find buyers that are, you know, closer to 60. So Magikarp right there, pretty good there. Let's move on to Clayburst. Clayburst is the Iono set. I mean, that's that Japanese Iono is like $190 when the English one's like 60, 70, whatever it is. But we have like the Raichu. You can get this one for $9.14 when the English one is up over 50. And you can pick up the Tyrannitars here. So you got the Raichu and the Tyrannitars. I got a few of these Raichu, Tyrannitars. Both of these in English are over 50, but in Japanese, $9.14 for the Raichu, and the Tyranitar is $7.95. So not even $8 yet. It is creeping up slowly. These will be over $8 soon. Like all the Japanese cards, every time I go look every day, they're up like a nickel, a quarter. It's not like they're like climbing like crazy like the English ones did, but they are climbing. They are actually steadily climbing, and you're not going to be able to get these for cheap forever. Like I said, once the English ones are, you know, $100 cards, the Japanese ones are going to be like $50 cards. When the English ones are $200 cards, the Japanese ones will be $100. We've seen that with the Bubble Mew. Japanese Bubble Mew was like a $60 card. Now it's $190 or something like that, because the English ones closer to 400. Like I said, these little low budget ones here aren't going to stay low budget forever. They're not going to be cheap, cards. But like I said, Japanese, it's heating up a little bit. It's not like going wild, but like I said, you could save your money by getting them now instead of waiting for them to just pop off later. So, all right, so let's move on to the next set. In Japanese, 151 came out before Ruler of the Black Flame, but in ours, 151 came out after Obsidian Flame. So it's flip flopped, but we're on 151 now. So 151, I think with 151 we want to look. We got the Charmander here. Charmander here is sitting around $14. Let me get that. Let me pull it up real quick here. But yeah, Charmander's sitting at $14.29. The English one is up. It's up over 50. I know that. It could be close to 60 for the English. But yeah, and then the English one did hit like 70 something. I think there was a little manipulation going on there. But yeah, $14.29. Like I said, you might be able to find people who will sell it to you for less. I would like I said, I like to go on the eBay and I just like if I see someone with good feedback and a good price, but I want it for less, I'll heart, which means you're following or watching it. That's what they call it, watching. I don't know why they put a little heart. They should have put like a little eyeball. But you're watching it, and you always get someone who gives you an offer of less than they have it listed. So that's how I get a lot of my cards, and then I flip them. So it's nice. Charmander. Also, any other starters? You got the Bulbasaur here. This Bulbasaur, I think, is about $10. Let me see, $10 and some change. That would be on, $10.20 for the Bulbasaur. Awesome little card there. I love it. Nice. But yeah, you can get that for 10 something. When I think, what is the English one? The English one's up around the $50 mark. I think it's just under 50. Could be like 48, 44, something like that. So the Bulbasaur right there. We have we have the Pikachu. Got a couple of these ones. $9.31. When the English one, I think, is up at like 48, it's close to 52 as well. So the Pikachu, very nice. One of the ones with all the Gen 1 Pokemon in there. There's so much stuff going on in there. That's a really cool picture. But yeah, I'm expecting the English one to be very expensive, and when that happens, the Japanese one's going to go with it. It's always going to stay behind, but it will go with it. You go look at the Sword and Shield era. You go look at the English Lugia from Silver Tempest and the Japanese one. They're like the same price. You go look at the English Giratina and the Japanese Giratina. There's a price difference, but they're both hundreds of dollars. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. All these cards are gonna do that. The gold Giratina from Crown Zenith in the Japanese is not worth as much as the English, but it is expensive still. These cards, like I said, these Japanese cards are gonna go with the English cards, and later on, 5-6 years down the road, there's probably not gonna be much of a big price difference. They will bridge that gap. Whether they pass them, yet to be seen. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think they'll just bridge the gap and always stay a percentage behind them. But still, it's good to be able to get these at a cheap, a pretty cheap cost. So yeah, like I said, any of the starters, you got the Squirtle in Japanese, $9.28 for this beautiful card. This is one of my favorite of the starters. Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur. I like this Squirtle. I like the whole line of this better. The illustration rares are a lot more expensive in Japanese. They're close to the English, but like I said, these right here for some reason stayed so low for so long. These were like $4 or $5 cards for the longest. Now they're $9, $10, $15 and stuff like that. But yeah, $9.28 for the Squirtle. Let's move on to, so that's the starters, and then we have the Ivysaurs like at $8. The Charmeleons at $7.68. The English one is up closer to $40. It's crazy, like these prices. I think look at the Dragonairs at $6.91 here. I mean, just you got to pick these up. The 151 illustration rares, the Poliwhirl, $6.58. The War Turtle, $6.33. The Psyduck, $5.36. It is insane how cheap these cards are. It is insane. The illustration rares in Japanese have not popped off like the English ones have, but they will. Trust me, they will. Moving on to Ruler of the Black Flame. The Charizard in here is worth more. The Charizard special illustration rare is like $95. The English one is sitting at 60 something. The Pidgeot is at 23 something when the English one. So this is one of the sets that's a little bit different, where the English is needing to catch up to the Japanese here. But like you have like the Cleffa sitting at $9.22. That's cheaper than the English one. And then you got the Ninetales, $8.74. When I picked this one up, it was in the sevens. Now it's closer to $9. This was, it's one of my favorite artworks. It's really beautiful, really nice. Whether it's in English or Japanese, awesome. But you can pick this one up for under $9. When the English one is up, I think it's closer to, I think $25 or something like that. So pretty cheap right here. Nice Ruler of the Black Flame. Good set, awesome set. I think the booster boxes of that one are going to go wild in the future as well. I think they're already starting to climb up at like, oh yeah, the booster box, $76.22. Crazy stuff, man. Those you were able to get those for super cheap not that long ago. All right, let's go to Raging Surf. And Raging Surf, the most expensive one in there is the Parasol Lady at $44. The Garchomp's at $30. The special illustration rare, that's crazy. But the Groudon right here, this you used to be able to get this for pretty cheap. This Groudon was not that expensive. Now it's sitting at $21.65. When just like 3 months ago, this was a $9 card. $9 3 months ago, $9.27. We can go back a whole year ago, and this card was sitting at $7.89. So the cheapest this card ever was about just under $8, but now it's sitting at $21.65, and it's going to continue to keep climbing. The English one is what, like $108 or something like that, $105. But yeah, it's a beautiful card. This is one of my favorites. This card and that Tyranitar are just, it's the same artist. Let's see, who's the artist there? Nurokabi or something like, I don't know how I'm pronounced, I butchered that, but same artist as the Tyranitar, and you could tell it. I mean, they almost look like, when you put them together, it almost looks like the same hills in the background and stuff like that. So it's not a connecting art, but it almost looks like it could have been. Very nice right there. All right, so let's look at I'm skipping a few sets like Snow Hazard. I don't have any of those. That has like the Baxcalibur in it, which I do need. Some Snow Hazard cards for my eBay store, but in Wild Force, you have like the Raging Bolt, the Walking Wake, Gouging Fire. You could pick those cards up for a fraction of what the special illustration rares are. Some of them are about half of what the English special illustrations of those are. But like the Ghastly right here, you could pick the Ghastly up for $13.39. And in the English, I think it's $50 something, $52, something like that. So $13 as opposed to 52. Very nice card. I like that one. I was wanting to like kind of finish off right there, but we go to Mask of Transformation, one that I just recently came in. This Chansey, beautiful looking card, $6.43. Picked this one up for like $6, shipped. I think the English is about $25. So the English is Twilight Masquerade. This is from I think it's called Mask of Transformation or Transformation Mask, something like that. It's a weird sounding name, but anyway, yeah. So this one right here, pick that up for like $6.43. But yeah, so all these cards right here are on my eBay store. So my son has all these cards in his, and all the extras that we have, I have them on my eBay store. And like I said, I list any flaws. I list, centering and all that kind of stuff. I try to make, just when I list something, I want someone to know what they're gonna get. Because a lot of times I'll order a card, it just says near mint, packed the sleeve to, all that kind of stuff. And when you get it, there's like a scratch or in the hollow foil or something like that. Or a print line. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's what looks like it could be a scratch in the hollow foil, but it's really a print line. And the print lines, that happens with the sports cards too. I've had some sports cards that got PSA 10, even with like a small factory print line in them. But I don't know if PSA is that lenient these days. So, but yeah. So I'm a full disclosure seller. So I'll tell you exactly, if there's any white on any corners, all that kind of stuff. If it's a good candidate to submit for PSA 10, I list all that stuff on my store. But anyway, I just want to go over this video. Like I said, illustration rares have gone crazy in the English, but in Japanese, you can still get good deals at very low prices that won't break the bank, and you can fill up your collection binders real easy with the Japanese stuff. And like I said, in the future, just let those sit, and then when you go look at your collection 4 or 5 years later, you're going to see that the Japanese have closed that gap, and you've made some pretty good gains on those cards. And if you're just a collector and like the artwork, don't care about the cost, or don't care about what they're going to be worth in the future, just pick the Japanese up. If you play the game, you need the English ones for sure. But if you just want the beautiful cards in your collection, they look great in the binder. English. My son puts English and Japanese next to each other in the binder all day long. And, he loves it. It makes him happy. That's how he likes to do it. So, all right, man, that is the end of this video. I will see you guys on the next one. I am out.